For today, I thought it would be a really great idea to kind of just have a chat about dealing with someone who is a little nasty, someone who is not happy about what's going on. They're not happy about the breakup. And you know what I really want to stress with this, because this was my case, was I didn't ask for my divorce, and I still found it's basically the same thing happening over and over again to different people in these different relationships. These people are extremely vindictive at the end of a relationship. It is so draining, and you do get PTSD, and it is traumatic. I don't think there's enough of a spotlight on just the level of trauma that you go through when you are in this situation. When a narcissist feels rejected in any way, and that this could mean you initiated the divorce, it could mean they initiated the divorce. Either way, they are rejected because you were not giving them what it is that they wanted. You are moving on, or maybe they initiated the breakup and you honestly don't really care. You're not fighting for them. You're not devastated by this. Like, you're trying to heal. You're trying to do all the things. They don't have control over you in so many areas of your life or your relationship. When this happens and it triggers this kind of vengeful control or lack of control in this person, this entire situation, this divorce, this breakup becomes a game. And the game is about power. It's about control. It's about making you feel small. It's about being a pain in the butt. It's about triggering you in any ways. It's about getting you to react and engage with the drama and engage with them in any way, shape, or form, whether it's good or bad. Does any of this ring a bell? Does any of this sound familiar? 9 times out of 10, when I talk about any of this stuff, it is because I have gone through it. When we're in these situations, we are so overwhelmed by what's happening because there's so much happening. You're on the phone with attorneys, you're moving out, you're trying to find a new apartment, you're having to sell a house, you're having to figure out how to co-parent. There's so many changes that are happening right now that are stressful, that are new, that are sad, and you're grieving. So you're going on this emotional roller coaster for sure. And having to deal with the little petty stuff that this person is doing. They're going to your friends and family and talking crap about you, making up these stories that just didn't exist. They're playing the victim, like they didn't do anything wrong in this relationship. They're hiding your keys. They're going through your phone. They're invading your personal space. They're getting your kids involved into the situation. They're flaunting their new relationship. Maybe it'll get physical. Maybe they'll start yelling at you. Maybe they go completely silent. They don't want to talk to you whatsoever, which means that the whole process of kind of breaking up, and it just makes it even harder. All of this is about a narrative, and it's about trying to control how you feel, and you really have to understand the game that's being played. Person who's either spending all of your money to try to get revenge, or withholding money to try to get revenge and to have some kind of control over you. So maybe they were the breadwinner and you weren't, and now they've completely cut you off. Maybe it's the stalking, maybe it's the harassment, maybe it's showing up at your job, maybe it's trying to interfere with your time with your kids, maybe it's trying to turn your kids against you by telling the children their sad story and not really mentioning the role that they played in it. If you're the one that's initiating the divorce, then your kids go and blame you because you're the one that's initiating the divorce, not knowing the real side of the actual story and what it took to get you to this place. All of that's frustrating. All of that's exhausting. All of that is very hard to deal with. First, we're going to play out both scenarios. We're going to play out the scenario that you're leaving the relationship, and then we're going to play the scenario that they left you. If you left them, this is very easy. Of course, you're triggering their ego, and you're triggering the fact that yes, they can't control you anymore. You were probably codependent. You probably swept things under the rug. You probably were accepting less than you probably deserve. And they knew this. They could see it. That's how they knew that they had control over you. So when you leave them, that sense of not having you anymore and that loss of control, it sends them in a spiral. And that's why people will go insane. Someone who's narcissistic will go insane when you leave them, and they're going to do so many different types of things in order to kind of grab your attention. So you initiate the divorce or breakup. Of course, no one likes to hear that. Of course, everyone's going to get hurt or upset. Absolutely. But the level in which someone's going to get upset is very drastic when it comes to this person. They're going to start going to extremes. This is not normal. I'm mad at you. I don't like you. I'm hurt by you. This is on the next level. Talking about serious, borderline psychotic behavior, being completely depressed, possibly suicidal, crying all the time, begging you, going from I hate you to I love you and I can't live without you, these very extreme highs and lows that this person is having. In the back of their mind, what they're thinking is, how dare you get the strength to leave me? How dare you move on? And remember, even if someone leaves you, yeah, it's not fun. No one wants to hear it. No one wants to go through heartbreak. It is on some levels a little damaging, especially when it's done in out of the blue and you didn't even maybe even see it coming, which if you're with a healthy person, you probably saw some things in the relationship that were not going good. So it's not like you were in a honeymoon phase and then all of a sudden you got divorced. When that happens, chances are you're dealing with a narcissist who's ending the marriage, and it goes from one extreme to the next. Any healthy person that's in a relationship, in a long-term marriage, is not going to go to extremes. You're going to very much try to save the relationship. Like, it's not going to be going from 0 to 60. If the relationship is ending because that person, your ex, initiated the divorce or wanted the breakup, I'm going to tell you, I don't think I've ever talked to a person who was in a relationship with someone who was narcissistic and that narcissist ended the relationship. It always happens completely out of nowhere. You're completely off guard. You did not absolutely see it coming whatsoever. If anything, the day before, they were probably confessing that you were the love of their life. So scenario one, you're ending the relationship. All of a sudden now, because you have to have some level of power and strength and confidence in yourself to be able to initiate that divorce. Here comes the punishment for being strong, for being independent, for finally saying, you know what, I've had enough, for growing a set of you know what. You might hear the things like, I'm going to change, I'm going to go to therapy, I know exactly all my flaws, I know what I need to work on. You're gonna get them begging, or you're going to get the opposite. And then you're gonna get a little bit of chaos. They can see that the begging isn't working, that the manipulation or the guilt or the shame, how could you do this to the kids? We've been together for so many years. When that doesn't work, now here comes vengeance. If you're the person that did not initiate the divorce and the other person did, like I said, it's probably coming completely out of the blue. What is really going to spike their anger towards you is when you just don't care. When someone divorces you and it comes completely out of nowhere, you might look at it like, well, I was so weak because I didn't see this and I didn't initiate the divorce. I wasn't strong enough to actually leave this person, but I'm gonna actually challenge you on that. Narcissists will only stay with a person long term that they know that they can control. So if they know that they can't control you anymore, or if they know that you are a strong person deep down and you just can't see it and they just don't have any use for you anymore, then that's when they leave. A discard or a breakup or divorce completely out of nowhere is actually the greatest compliment. I will say it for the rest of my life because it is true. On some levels, this person knows that they can no longer get what it is or what it was that they were getting from you. And so now you're going to be punished for that. This is where you, like I did for years, would sit there and say, wait a minute, you got everything you wanted. Like, you got to move on. You moved on to another relationship. Like, why are you still trying to hurt me? There's two reasons for this. Number one, this person actually isn't happy or healthy whatsoever. Number two, you are now punishment for all the things that you weren't able to be for this person. Revenge for this person is a way to win. It's a way to pull you back into them, because what they're thinking is by giving you all of this chaos that you're going to react. And because you don't know what's actually happening and why this person is doing this, and you don't know how to take care of yourself, which is so incredibly important when you are in this situation, because you're not doing any of those things, you're gonna get reactive because you're exhausted. All right, let's talk about how to handle this. It doesn't matter what it is that they're doing that's bugging you, ruining your life, and causing you all of the stress. What is important is just how you handle yourself in these situations. I know you wanna scream, I know you wanna call them out, I know you wanna get reactive, I know you just wanna yell at the top of your lungs, stop ruining my life, grow up. Don't do it. Because see, the winning is that they want you to unravel. They want you to not be as strong. They want you to get so offended by what it is that they're doing. They want some kind of a reaction from you because this is the ego that needs so desperately for you to get entangled in them, because then that means that you care. They want to know that they still have power over how you feel, period. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the script. If you can, go no contact. You don't need to verbally communicate with this person depending on your situation. Every situation is different. Every narcissist is different. So anything that you read online, any videos you watch, just you'll know whether or not it pertains to your situation based on who this person is and what they're capable of doing. This means no personal conversations. If you have to co-parent, you're probably going to parallel parent for a little bit. Everything is over email. Nothing is over text. Everything is documented. I know it really sucks when this person can go around and start spreading stories, and maybe some of them are actually true, but the part of the story that really sucks is that they're not also mentioning their part in that story. They're only mentioning your part. You kind of have to let that go, let your ego go, that everyone needs to know your side of the story. The truth always does come out. What you don't want to do is you don't want to prove the stories that your ex is spreading about you. You don't want to prove them to be true by you acting out of character. And anyone who's hearing a story that knows you really well and knows your ex really well, they know what's going on. They know exactly who this person is. They may not want to admit it. They may defend this person, they may stand up for this person because blood is thicker than water. We all get it. But at the end of the day, they do know who their sibling is. They do know who their father is, who their mother is. This is not something that's new information. Let's start changing passwords on phones, on accounts. Like, we are now dividing of things. When I tell you document everything, especially when it comes to co-parenting and children. The hardest thing is to be unbothered. You can get hurt, you can get sad, you can get angry, you can do all the things. Talk to the therapist, talk to the coach, talk to your friend, get it all out. Don't get me wrong, but do not be bothered by it. If you respond with anger and frustration, it's going to feed them. As strong as we are, we're still human at the end of the day, and there's only so much you can take. So if you are pinned against a wall and you just go off on your ex, just know that, yeah, it's going to feed their ego a little bit, but who cares? It was also something that you need to do for yourself, and that's the most important thing. You want to learn how to do, and it's just practice, and it takes a lot of practice, don't get me wrong, and it's called calm detachment. What you're basically saying is, I see exactly what you're doing, and I'm not reacting to it. It's no different than if you're watching a toddler and they were throwing a tantrum. You see what they're doing, and you're not going to engage with it. When I tell you, if you can really practice, that is power on another level. You will feel so incredibly confident, but I will say it'll probably trigger this person for a little while because they're so used to getting a reaction out of you that when you stop doing it and you just remain calm and completely unfazed by what it is that they are doing, it's going to trigger them even more. It might actually get a little worse, but eventually they're just going to get bored because that's what they do. They're bullies, and when a bully can't trigger the victim any longer because it's just not working, eventually the bully will just move on to someone else. What you're trying to do is get this person to find a new emotional punching bag because right now, you're it. For those of us who still have to deal with this person on some level, remember this. Even though I know it's hard and there's probably a part of you that wishes that you just could wipe your hands of this altogether and never see this person again, always remember that all of these situations are learning experiences. And while they're hard and they're painful and they suck at times, it is practice. This person is a teacher, whether you want to believe it or not. You always have so much more power than this person. You are so much stronger than this person. What this person is doing is just giving the easy games, the easy tantrum. It's very easy to just throw a tantrum or to be vindictive or to be nasty when you're not getting your way. But in order to actually stay calm and be confident and not engage in someone's toxic stuff, that takes a lot of work. But once you actually do it and you feel the power that comes from doing it, then you do it all the time. And you realize that your confidence always came from not like standing up for yourself and like yelling at this person and crying and I can't believe you're this person. It comes in watching this person just crumble because they can no longer control you. And that's the goal of all of this, is to no longer be controlled by this person. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. We're still running the 40% off all of my courses. Links are down below if you're interested. Hope you guys have a good holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one.